Okay, welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone is
Yes,
at the
thank you, sir.
system.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we are with you.
Yes.
Okay, so have you installed those two softwares on your system?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can open and you can could connect those, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it's like
Sir,
admin
still
side.
unable to connect, sir. Still unable to connect. Till I reached
Okay,
the last stage, sir, only connection is the problem, sir.
yeah, I'm getting it. I think some admin rights might be the issue. Is that your personal laptop or you are using some?
Sir, even I am facing the same problem, sir. I'm unable to
Yes, sir.
connect.
It is personal
Okay.
only, sir.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's continue. I don't want to
Okay, sir.
interrupt
Okay,
others
sir.
also.
Yes, sir.
So whoever
Yeah.
has those installed and could connect, let's start this. Okay. The others, as I send you the installation and you
Yes,
can
sir. We can see
fix
and
those
afterwards we'll
places.
try.
Yeah.
One second, Vinod garu.
Yes, Naveen.
Uh, Server type is database engine. Server name here, whenever drop down list, it is asking like browse for more.
Hmm. Yeah, by default, by default it shows your system name itself, or you can give your system name there, as I
System
shown
name.
you how to get the system name from there.
Okay.
Okay.
But it is showing it's a blank only.
Yeah, if it is showing the blank, you can just give your system name, and I
System
have
name.
shown you how to get the system name.
Okay, okay. Fine. I'm also facing some issues while connecting the database.
Okay, keep trying, or else you can try it later. For now, let's proceed. Okay, so after you install those two softwares, you will see. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after you install those two softwares, go to the start menu, and at the M, you see those two things. One is the Microsoft SQL Server 2019 and Microsoft SQL Server Tools 18. Okay, you don't need to open this SQL Server. You don't need to do anything with that, but just open this, and this is your Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, which people often talk about this as, people refer to this as SSMS. Okay, and when you open that, it will ask for this connection, and once you connect, you get this Object Explorer window, and here you see the databases. By default, you get this like this. Okay, once you expand this, you get the databases, and these are the default, the system databases. And here, once you create the database, you will see this database also, and I'll show you how to create those databases. Okay, by any chance, if you close this Object Explorer, don't worry, go to this view and click on that Object Explorer again. Okay, so let's say if I close this, it will be blank. So go to view and go to Object Explorer again, it will come back. Okay. Yeah, after that, uh,
Vinod, screen sharing is paused or it's gone.
okay, one moment, let me reshare my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes, Vinod.
Okay, so the first thing which we wanted to talk about is create a database. Okay, the database can be created in two ways. One is one is using the graphical interface, or using a query. Okay, let's say it's very easy to create using the graphical user interface, which is nothing but GUI. So for that, what we need to do is go to this Object Explorer, and here in the databases, right click on that database and click on new database. Okay, once you click on that new database, you get this. Okay, and you can give the name whatever you want. Let's say i'm giving I'm giving my name as analytics underscore test. Okay, so I'm just clicking on add and click on OK. File name was empty, please provide a file name for one moment.
Sir, we can't see your screen, sir.
My screen is sharing.
It's shared, but it's got stuck with the first step. Yeah,
Oh,
now I think so. Now we can see your cursor moving.
okay. Now what screen can you see now?
Nothing, sir. The blue screen. When you click the right
Only
click,
the
new database.
Object Explorer we see.
Yeah,
Okay.
Object Explorer.
Okay. Let's do one thing. I'm clicking on this new query. You can see that, right?
Yes, sir.
So as soon as I click on that new query, uh, a blank screen is there with the white space, everything.
Sir, sorry to interfere, sir. Can you go back to the step where we have created the database?
Yeah, I'm creating that database again with the query.
Acha. Okay,
Okay,
sir.
so I'm the query for creating the database is create, okay, database. So and the name. Okay, let's say I'm giving the name as sample2. Okay, so here my command goes like this: create, and what I'm creating. Am I creating a table? Am I creating a database? Or I'm creating a view? So here we are creating a database. So create database sample2. So here before going even to the, so what we have to do is select this and click on execute. So when you select this particular line and click on execute, execute is nothing but here, this one. Okay, here you get the message results. This is like the result window. Here you see that message as commands completed successfully, and the completion time it shows at what time it got completed in the time zone and all. So you don't need that time zone and all, but just check whether you are getting, if you are getting some red color message here and you are getting some error, if it shows commands completed successfully, that means the command whatever you have given here that got executed successfully. So what did we do here? We have created a database with the name sample2. So there should be one database which is created with the name sample2, correct? So go to the databases in the left object explorer, right click on that, click on refresh. When you click on refresh, you see this sample2 database. Clear? The one who has
Yes,
Yes, sir.
installed,
Yes, sir.
have you executed this command?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
And you see that sample2 database
Yes,
in
sir.
the explorer, right?
No, sir. Just
Yes,
a
sir.
second, please.
So you are creating it now. So I'm pasting that command in the chat window also for your ease. It's a simple command. Okay.
Sir, in object, this one in view, after clicking Object Explorer details,
Mm-hmm.
like Object Explorer details, when I'm clicking, I'm getting like master model.
Yeah, the master model and all, those are the system databases, the
So
master model and
what to
all.
do? Sir?
So you have to click on this new query. If
Actually,
you
before I got that, but now I'm. Uh,
click on this new query again,
Actually, in the menu bar, there is only File, Edit, View, Tools, Windows, Help. In
Mhm.
yours, it is Project is also there.
That's okay, no problem.
Okay. So
So
in View,
do you see this new query or not?
yeah, I can.
Now just click on that. A
Yeah,
editor will open here
yeah.
and type this command: create database sample2.
Okay. Create database.
So once the database is created, you can open this by clicking on that plus symbol. You can see all the sub objects in that database. You can see the tables, you can see the views and all. So before even going there, let's talk about something which is nothing but, let's rename, which is nothing but the altering the database. So how to alter the database? Let's say I want to rename this database sample2 to sample3. Okay, so for that what I am writing is alter, okay, database. What I am altering? The database. Which database I am altering? Sample2. So give the sample2 the database name which you want to rename, and after that give modify, then name equal to sample3. Let's say I want that to rename as sample3. Okay, so whenever you write any command, you can execute that command like by selecting this. Always make sure that you select this. You, even if you don't select that, what happens is, if you have multiple lines in this window, all the lines will get executed. So if you want the piece by piece or step by step execution, so select that command whatever you want and then click on execute. Okay, so once the executed, I have executed, it is saying that the database name sample3 has been set. Okay, so go to the databases again, right click, refresh. Now if you see, the sample2 database got renamed to sample3 database. Correct? So
Yes, sir.
let me post this in the chat. If you have any syntactical errors, you can use this, you can copy this.
Sir, there is something incorrect syntax.
Yeah, that's why copy this, copy the syntax which I have pasted and execute that syntax. So now we know how to create a database and we know how to rename that database. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's say if I want to delete a database, let's say here I have sample1 and sample3 and I want to delete sample3. So we can execute another command, which is nothing but drop database and the database name. Dropping is nothing but deleting a database. So here we use that drop database, the keyword database, and the name we have to give. So sample3 I'm giving. Okay, so right now here if you see, I have two commands, correct? If I want to execute only this line, select that line and then execute that. Okay, if I don't select this line and click on direct execute, I'll get an error saying that database sample2 does not exist. So the first line which is getting executed is this, where I'm asking to rename this sample2 with sample3. But right now, if you see, that step was already done and sample2 is no more there. So I'm getting an error saying that database sample2 does not exist. So make sure that you are selecting the proper line and then executing it. So here I'm selecting drop database sample3 to delete the sample3 database. So click on execute. So now it is saying that commands completed successfully. So if you go to the databases again and right click, refresh, you get that deleted. Sample3's database is no more there. We just have sample1. So if you recall the steps, what we have done, we have created a database, correct? With the step create database sample 2, correct? And then what we did, we renamed that sample 2 database to sample 3, and we deleted that sample 3 database. Clear with these 3 steps?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And is it getting executed for all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone who, I mean, for whom, for the ones where you had the connection problems, that's okay. I understand. You can try it later. But for the ones who has the connections got successfully completed, and are you facing any issues?
No issues, sir.
Okay, great. So let's move ahead, and um, we'll work with creating the tables. So till now we worked with the database. So after in database, what do we have? Database is like a folder, correct? In the folders we have the files, right? So now if we go to the database, we'll see how we create the tables. Database is nothing but the collection of tables, correct? So for you, there won't be any database right now because you have deleted the sample 3 database also. So execute this command again, create database sample 2, so that a sample database will get created, or create a sample 1 database. Execute this command again, create database sample 1, so that you get this sample 1 database. Execute that command and come here, right click and refresh. I'm pausing for a moment to create a data for you to create a database.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, great. Anyone else?
Done, sir.
Okay. Now now let's do one thing. Let's create 2 tables. Okay, one is the person table, and where we collect all the information, like we'll be having name, email, gender, city, and age, all these things. And with the id is nothing but every person will have one unique id. Okay, and we'll create one more table with the name, gender. In the gender table we'll have two records. One is male and the other one is female. Okay, let's see how to create those tables. Okay, so now what we can do is, again, we can create these 2 tables either from UI or with the query. Okay, so let's start creating those 2. So I'm creating database, or let's say I have sample 1 database itself. The tables. Okay, let's create a test database. I'm creating this test database and executing that. Okay, so here I have test. If I expand this, I get these tables here. Okay, and if I expand that tables also, I'll see some system tables, file tables, external tables, graph tables and all. So if I, now we need to create some tables in that, correct? So let's start creating a tables there. So the commands goes like this. Just one moment. Yeah, go to this tables, click on that tables and right click there and create new table. Okay, you get this, and you have the column name, the data type and allow nulls. Okay, you see these three options there. So there what I'm doing is I want to collect some information. So what information I want to collect? It's like the name, the ID, the
Sir, in
name.
tables, what to click, sir? Sorry.
On the right click on the tables, in the new, click on table.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it. Thank you.
You see these three fields: the column name, the data type, allow nulls. Okay. The first column name which I'm trying to get is ID. ID is nothing but like unique ID. And the second column, the second parameter for each and every column, this is nothing but the column, right? So it is asking what data type. So let's say ID is in numbers, right? So
Yeah, correct.
I'm giving the integer data type, and it is asking whether to allow nulls or not. So I don't
Don't
want to allow
don't allow.
nulls. So uncheck that option. Okay. So the second one, second column which I want is name.
Name.
Okay. The data type is
String.
I want to allow like some 50 characters. So give this nvarchar. Okay, as soon as you start typing nvar, you get this, and you can just uh, tab out or just click outside of that. That will get selected. And do you want to allow nulls there? I don't want to allow, just uncheck that. Okay, the next one. So after selecting the after giving the ID, name and all, I'm giving one more column name as email. Okay, so I'm typing email again here. This one is also nvarchar with 50. This is nothing but the length. If you give more than that, it won't take. Okay, so here you can define the length of this particular column, of this email column. Okay, and I want this I want it is asking whether to allow nulls or not. Let's say I'm allowing nulls there. Okay, and the next column which I want is the gender ID, or let's say city and age also. So city I'm allowing, again nvarchar, allow nulls. I don't want to allow nulls. And the next one which is age. So age, what is that? Is it a number or characters or a
Number, integer.
number? So give that integer. So I don't want to allow nulls. And I am defining one more column, which is nothing but gender ID. Okay. In the gender ID, okay, here I'm giving that one as a integer, and I don't want to allow nulls. So you might be getting it out. The gender is like
F or M.
male or female, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes,
why
sir.
am I giving the integer?
Yes,
So
we got that out.
here what we do is we are creating this table. This table name, we make it as some person table.
Percent.
And we create one more table, which is a gender table, and define the genders there, male and female, and use those IDs here. So for male, I use 1, and for female, I use 2. Okay, and we link this particular table, this person table, with the gender table. Okay, so that there is a connection between these two tables, and we'll talk about that primary key and the secondary key, the foreign key. Okay, let's say now we have this name. We have created a new table, right? But we haven't yet saved that table. So I'm right click here and click on save table. Okay, and here it is asking for table name. So give the table name as
Person.
TBL person. I'm giving the TBL person table. On. Okay, and if you go to this tables and refresh here and open this tables, you see this table, dbo.tbl person. Okay,
Database object.
so we have created one table, and we are seeing that name of the table. Clear till now, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now in this table, let me create one more table. Okay, so right click here, table. So here I'm creating a gender table. In the gender table, what I do is the other one is ID. Okay, ID is an integer, and it should not allow nulls, and the second one. Yeah, the second one is gender, and this one is nvarchar, and it should not allow nulls. Okay, so I'm saving this table as tbl gender. Click on okay. Okay, one moment. Okay. Okay, so now if you see this test, right click and refresh. In the tables, you see two tables. One is TBL gender, the other one is TBL person. Okay, okay. Clear till now, everyone, how to create a table?
Yes, sir.
No doubts, right?
Yes, sir.
No doubts.
Okay, so now I'm going to this TBL person. So if I want to close this, all the views, and then we'll come back to this later. Okay, so if I have created the tables, right? What did I create? Does this table have the data or not?
No data.
No
Only
data.
structure we have created.
It's only the columns we have created and what type of characters it should accept. The properties of that table we have defined. We have just given the column names that table should have and
Data
what type of
types.
characters it should accept. That's the thing only we have defined, but till now we haven't yet given any data into the table. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if I want to update some information, I mean some properties of that table, right click here right click on the table name and click on the design. Okay, if you click on the design, the same thing will get open again. And here you can change all these properties of these columns. So imagine this, the same thing in the Excel. In the Excel, how do you give ID, name, email, city, age? Correct? The columns are like this. Here we have given like this, only the properties you are defining it here. It's like inverse. In Excel, we have it in columns, and here we have it in rows. Okay, now let's say um, let's come to the concept of this primary key and the foreign key. Okay, just give me a moment, I'll be back.
Chroma also. Hi, Mr. Vinod. Nothing is heard. Hello, hello.
Sir took 1 minute break.
Okay, so 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 to go to this view, what we did, so right click on this table name and go to the design. Now I just want to take a pause here and go back to see how we define the tables and how to link those two tables. So we have this gender table and the person table, correct? So let me visualize that in the Excel.
Sir, we can't see your screen. You stopped
Yeah.
sharing.
I'm sharing it again. Okay. Let's say you see my Excel, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Edward.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I want to enter this information in the database. So let's say I have taken some sample 5 records here. So this is my TBL person. Okay. This is like let's say TBL person. Okay. And I'm making it as, let's say, this one. And so this is my TBL person, what it is talking about, this table. And this table, this is nothing but the TBL gender. Okay. TBL gender. Okay. So here, here I have the TBL gender. So if I see this data, I have the ID, name, email, gender ID, city, and age. If you see this gender ID, what am I doing? Instead of entering male, female like that, I am giving 12211. So this is nothing but the values I am giving corresponding to this table. So I have a link, I have to establish a link between this table and this table. Correct? So here, if you see here, instead of entering male, female, I'm entering 12211. If it is male, I am entering 1. If it is female, I'm entering 2. So let's say here I want to check what is the gender of Ved here. I just gave 1. What does that mean?
Male.
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 If it is 2, so
Female.
female. So I am establishing a connection between this table, the person table, and the gender table. How to
Yes,
establish
sir.
that connection is through the primary key and the foreign key relationships. We'll talk about that. So first, before even going to the foreign key, we'll talk about the primary key. Primary key is nothing but the column where you want all the records in the primary key column. That should be yours. Can you please mute yourself? I'm getting disturbance. If you have any doubt, you can unmute and ask, and you can mute. Please mute again. Or if you don't have any background noise, you can keep yourself unmute. Okay, so the primary key is nothing but which is a column which used to identify uniquely each record in that table. That means if I define this column, ID column, as a primary key, this column should have only unique records. They should not be duplicate records. That type of column itself we can mark it as primary key. Okay, so every table will have one primary key. So this table here, I'm having it as the primary key as ID, and in the TBL gender also, I'll have ID as a primary key. Okay.
Should not have null values, sir.
No, the primary key should not have the null values. Okay, and now here this one I am establishing a connection with the other table, right? So I make this one as a foreign key. Okay, that foreign key in this table is nothing but a primary key in other table.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Let's say I'll create one more table with the name table TBL city, where I give the list of all the cities, and instead of giving the names here like Hyderabad, Bangalore, and all those things, I'll just start giving those IDs there, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Clear? Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we know.
Okay. So
Yes, sir. Yes,
here
sir.
So here we need to design those tables like that, and that designing is just one time. Okay, let me reshare my screen. Okay, so here in this table, I want to make this ID to be the primary key, right? How to make it as a primary key? We can make it in two ways: either using the user interface or through with the query. Okay, let's make it as using the user interface. So how to do that? Select the column which you want to make it as a primary key. Right click on that and set primary key. Okay, when you set the primary key, you see this symbol there. That means this one is set as a primary key. And if you go to this tables, okay, and if you go to this tables, right click, refresh, and go to that table person, and you see these keys here. Expand that, one moment. Yeah, let me save this table person. So right click, refresh, and in the keys you see this key, PK. This is the primary key, table person. Clear, everyone? This is how we set the primary key of a
Yes,
table.
Mr. Vinod.
So if I want to set the primary key for the gender table, so right click again, design, and here I want to set the this ID as a primary key. Right click on that, set primary key, and here right click, save table gender. And if you open this table gender, refresh, just go to the keys, you see this one as a PK underscore TBL and gender. You can even set these primary keys with the help of query also.
Funny.
Um, getting some.
Coming.
Can you please mute yourself? I think it's Ali. Can you please mute yourself? Okay, thank you. Great. So we have seen how to set the primary key of a table. Now let's set the secondary, I mean the foreign key of a table. Okay.
Sir,
So I
actually,
want.
sir, sorry to disturb you. As you didn't get at the beginning, no, the same way even I couldn't able to find out the, like after refreshing also in keys, I are able to get that file.
Save the table. Right click on this and the save the table, and then go to the refresh.
So when I'm trying to save it, it's showing like saving the text file. I don't understand what to do.
In the table, you're saying save table, save
Yeah,
TBL first.
when I click that, right click it. Just a second, sir. Sir, can I share for a moment? Sorry to if I'm interrupting you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see your screen. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So this one,
Click on cancel. Okay, and right click on the table name. Yeah, save TBL person.
yeah,
Okay.
again I'm getting
Saving
the table.
changes is not permitted. The changes you have made require the following tables to be dropped and recreated. You have either made changes to your table that can. Okay, I think. Uh, yeah, close this again. Cancel. Click
Yes,
on cancel. I think you have dropped that table and you are still working on that table.
I didn't. I didn't drop it, but maybe. So shall I create it again? Like,
Yeah, just create it again. It will work. You create it again and it will work.
okay.
Create another table.
Using the query again, I need to create, sir.
Yeah, anyway,
Oh, fine,
anyway works.
fine, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So in the table person, let's start making this one as a foreign key relationship. Okay. So we have set the primary key. We'll set this gender ID as a foreign key. We have seen how to create a primary key using your user interface. Let's create a foreign key with the command. Okay. Let's see this. Um, yeah. So the foreign key command goes like this. So I'm trying to create that in the let me make a new query. And I'm in the make sure that you are in the correct database. I'm getting background noise from one of you. Thank you. So from here, you can select the database on which you are working. So I have in the system databases, I have few databases, and in the here I have sample one and test. So select the appropriate database whenever you are writing a query. So select that database. So I want to access test database. It's like which folder you are working on. Okay, that as simple as that. So here I'm writing a query to to make the foreign key relationship. Okay, so for that what we can do is it's like alter uh, table tbl uh, person. Okay, add constraint tbl person underscore gender id underscore fk, which is nothing but we are adding a constraint. Foreign key is a constraint. We are adding this constraint to the table person, to this table. This command means like that. Okay, and here the foreign key. So foreign key in the bracket, the foreign key column. Okay, references the foreign key column. What is the foreign key column here?
ID from gender table.
Gender
Is it
ID.
no ID?
Gender ID.
Gender ID. So references tbl gender
Gender.
id. Okay, it's like in the tbl person table. Okay, this gender id is a column which is nothing but a foreign key which is referring to tbl gender in that gender table id column. This command means that. Okay, let me execute that. So it is saying that commands updated successfully. Okay, so now if you go to the tables and refresh I'm going to the person and then keys. You see, there is one more key with the name TBL person gender ID underscore FK. This is a foreign key. Okay, this one is a primary key, and you see the PK, which is nothing but the primary key, and this is a foreign key, and you see the symbols also a bit inverted. This is the primary key and this is the foreign key. And if you look into this design again, let's go to the design. You see the primary key here. Clear everything? Now we want to establish that connections between these two, the foreign key and the primary key. Okay, for that what we
Sir,
have to do is, yes please.
sir, sir, is there any other way to create foreign key instead of writing the query, like setting up with the primary key using graphical user interface directly?
Yeah, you can do that. So design, right click here and go to this relationships. Okay, and here relationships, it is nothing but a foreign key relationships. So click on add. So I'll show you to again. So here in the TBL person, right, I'm going to this design. So here the gender ID, I want to establish a foreign key relationship with this column, right? So right click on this. Let me paste this first. Yeah, I'm pasting in the chat window so that you have access to this. Okay, so here, going back to this table. Yeah, so right click and click on this relationships. Okay, in the relationships, go to this tables and spec column, open this ellipsis. Okay, and it will ask for the relationship name, give that relationship name here, and select the primary key table and the foreign key table here. So what is the primary key table? What is the foreign key table first? So what is the primary key table?
Gender table, sir.
Gender table.
Gender
Person
table.
table.
And what is the foreign key table?
Person.
Person table. So here, what is the in the table gender? What is that? ID.
ID.
And here, what is this?
Gender ID.
Gender ID. So this is the heart of the connection. So don't get confused with the table and the keys. So primary key table, where do you go to the foreign key first? So foreign key table, the foreign key you're adding here for the gender ID, right? So the table which this column is referring to is
Person. Table person.
correct. This is the foreign key table, and where that gender is, that is the primary key. Okay, in that primary key, in that gender table, ID is the primary key. That
Yes, sir.
ID we are referring to with the gender ID.
Yes, sir.
Okay, click on OK and close. So right click and refresh. So now
Sir,
we
I've gone wrong with the syntax, sir.
sorry,
I've gone wrong with the syntax.
what error are you getting?
It says cannot find the object TBL person because it does not exist or you do not have permissions.
Which table are you referring to? Which database are you referring to? Go check this whether you are referring to the correct database or not.
Yes, sir. I'm following the same one which you are doing it.
No, here which database you have?
The table person, TBL person.
That is the table, and the database I'm
Yes.
talking about, this arrow mark.
Same one, sir. Databases, tables.
No. Can you see my cursor?
Well, no, I cannot actually. So
Uh,
small. Can
Someone else, can you see my cursor, my mouse cursor?
Yes, sir.
It is in test.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
visible.
Is it?
It is
Yes,
in test, right? So which database you are referring to?
Oh yeah, it's in test only, sir.
So it's in test itself. So
Yes.
and what are you trying to create?
Sir, I'm trying to set the foreign key. I'm
You're
stuck there itself.
you're trying to set the foreign key and you're getting that error.
Yes.
So try to set the foreign key, right click here and go to the design table person, and in the gender ID, right click here and click on this relationships and try to set foreign key from here. Okay, just as in the process I said. Okay.
Relationships.
Yeah. Now let's try to, as we have given that connections, those foreign key and the primary key connections, let's try to enter some data into those two tables. Okay, so here to enter data and or to see what we have, okay, so to enter some data into those tables, till now what we have done, we have just designed the tables, correct? This is nothing but the DB database design or database schema and all. It's like building the tables and linking those tables with the different tables. Okay, so now let's say I want to enter some data into these tables. For that, how do we enter is right click on that and select this edit top 200 rows. Okay, so it shows this. So it is showing ID and gender because I have only these two columns in this gender table. So here ID I'm giving 1 and gender I'm giving male, and in the second record I'm giving 2 as my ID, and in the gender I'm giving female. Okay,
Yes.
so you don't need to, it got saved automatically. Now I want to enter key in some records into the person table also. Okay, right click again, edit top 200 rows. Okay, here it is asking for ID, name, email, city, age, gender, ID. Okay, so let's say I'm giving 1 as my ID here, name I'm giving Vinod, and email I'm giving vinusmiles@gmail.com. Okay, 1 moment. Yeah, city, let's say I'm giving Hyderabad, and age I'm giving 34, and gender ID I'm giving 1, and hit on enter. Okay, so let's say I'm giving 99 instead of 1 and I hit enter, I get an error because this gender ID is a foreign key, and that foreign key is referring to the table gender, and the table gender has IDs only 1 and 2. So I have to enter only 1 and 2 here. If I enter any other values, I get an error. Clear? Everyone clear?
So could you tell me from a master table to
Yes.
test table how to change it?
From
Test table to master table, like how to
Data, you're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the databases.
Yeah.
So you can select that database here. Uh, so let's say I'm refreshing this databases, and so there are few more commands where you can you don't even you don't even need to select the database. We can give that schema like the database name and the schema name and the table name. So wherever you are working, in whichever database you are working, you can relate to any other database. Okay. Okay. So here I'm trying to enter some data. So let's say I'm entering some other data too, some sample records I want to enter. Um, let's say here I'm entering two, and see, for in rest of time I'm just copy pasting the data. Okay. So you got that. Why am I getting the error? So here it is asking for age, and the null is not accepted there. So I have to give the age. Until and unless I give the value there, it won't accept. So here city, I'm saying I'm entering Bangalore, and the gender ID I'm entering it as 2. Okay, and let's say 3 here, and the name I'm entering some values, copy pasting the data from Excel in the interest of time. Gender ID. Few more values, so that we can start working on the data, select queries. So for that we need some data, right? Class record I'm entering uh, okay, great. So I have some records in this table, and I have established a foreign key and foreign key relationship between this table and the gender table, correct? So let's say, so this is this is how, instead of entering the male and female, or if you want, you can create one more table with the name cities, and you can give the foreign key primary key relationship between the cities table and the person table. Okay, now let's go and work on some of the queries. This is the heart of the analytics or the analysis, where we begin. Okay, why do we set the foreign key? Foreign key is like we it ensures that we are entering the correct values which are available in the foreign key table that we are pointing to. Okay, now let's go and we read the tables. Till now what we did, we have created the table, we have updated the table, and we have worked on the properties of the table. Now what I am going to do is to read the tables. Okay, so for that, I'm opening a query window. Let's say, okay, yeah, here I have the query. Or else at any point of time, you can click on this new query. And in the new query, here, whenever you select a new query, here you get the option to switch between the databases. Okay, whenever you are working with the tables, okay, whenever you are working with the tables, you don't get the option of this, because this table is nothing but which is there in this database. So this is nothing but a query. Here we are writing a query, and we can write query on any database and any table. Okay, so let's say now I want to see whatever be the data we have in the person table. Okay, so for that we have a simple query called select queries. Okay, it's like select, I'm writing select star from, it's a simple English, from which table you want. I want to see all the list of names available. So which table
Person
you
table.
want? Person table.
Person.
It's like TBL person. Okay? So what we have to do, select this command. Okay, select this command and click on execute. As soon as you click on execute, you get this results here. So whatever we have entered the values, entered the records in the person table, all those will get displayed here. We are getting the ID, name, email, city, age, gender ID, all those things. Clear? Clear with this command? Select star from TBL person.
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's say I want to see the same, all the records from gender table. So TBL gender. Okay. So select that and click on execute. Now I see the records available in the gender table also. Okay. Now I want to see, let's say now if I want to see, if I want to see again the records from the person table, so just select that query, execute. It's like you don't need to write that query again. You can just select that query and execute. That is the reason the language name is query language. It's all about queries. This is the select query. And what we are selecting from table person, from the table. Okay, so if you select both of the tables at a time and execute, you get these two. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let's say I want to I want to see, let's say I have some 10,000 records, but I want to see what are the distinct cities available in this table. So here, if you see, I have 5 records in total, but Hyderabad is in total 5 cities of these. Hyderabad is repeated twice. But I want to see only the unique records. Let's say I have 10,000 cities, 10,000 records. There won't be 10,000 cities available, right? It's like repeating, so it's getting duplicated. So if I want to see the unique list of the any column, so this is the query. So select distinct. Okay, distinct is nothing but the unique. Okay, which one you want to see? Unique city, correct? So write that city, the column name, and from which table you want?
Table.
TBL person. Okay, and select this query, execute. Any reason why are we getting Hyderabad twice?
Font is different.
Spelling mistake.
Let me close this. Refresh. The tables. Table person. Design. Edit top 200 rows.
So got it.
I didn't get you. What is that?
I got it, sir. I got only Bangalore, Cochin, Hyderabad, and Kadapa.
Okay.
No repetition.
Yeah. So let me close this. Okay. So let's say I'm refreshing it. Yeah. I'll tell you the reason. Because the first record I have entered it manually, and all other records I have copy pasted from the Excel. So it was taking this Hyderabad as the second Hyderabad as a different characters. So I updated the table, and now we are getting only 4 records. Clear? You won't be getting that error.
Yes, sir. I actually typed the cities' names.
Yeah.
I actually typed the whole table.
Okay. I think you are the one you are getting the error, right?
Yes, sir.
And you solve that error.
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. So now, so let's say, so let me execute this command again. I want to see all the records again. Now let's say I want to see the list of people who are from Hyderabad. Okay, so I have all the people here, like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kadapa, and Cochin. So I want the people, I want the records where the city is Hyderabad. So for that, what query we can write is select. I want all the columns. So I'm selecting star from TBL person where city is equal to Hyderabad. So I have to give that Hyderabad in the double quotes, in the single quotes. Okay. So is it not like a simple English? It's like a select star, select all from this table where city is equal to Hyderabad. So execute that. Now I get those records where the city is Hyderabad. I'm not getting all the records. If you see, this is a list of all records, but I get only the records, only the first and the third record, because the city is Hyderabad there. Correct? Now, can you tell me with your guess, I want the records except Hyderabad. What query can we use?
Select star from TBL person where city is non-Hyderabad.
So how to write that? Let me copy paste the same query. Okay, how to write that?
Not Hyderabad.
Use not equal to symbol.
Yes, we can use not equal to symbol. Okay, so execute
Or
that.
I can write all cities names except Hyderabad.
No need. We can use just not equal to symbol.
Okay.
We can use either this symbol, or we can use even this symbol. Okay.
It's not visible, sir.
It's not visible.
Yeah, the fonts. It's so light that we can't see.
Okay, this exclamation symbol, the
All
exclamation
right.
and equal to. It's like not equal to.
Okay.
Okay, great. Now let's say I want to get yeah, I want to filter out some of the records where the age is between some 20 and 40. So let's say I have the person, I have all the records, but I want to filter out some of the records between 20 and 40. So it's like again writing the same query.
So we can start from TBL person where age
So
between
it's in the TBL person itself,
TBL person
where
age
age
between
between
give the parameters between 30 and 40 or 20 and 30.
20 and 40.
30. Yeah.
So
Done.
or execute that. So it's like we have both included 20 and 40. If you have any age 20, even that record will get included. If you have any age of 40 record, that also gets included. So it's like we have this table where we are not disturbing the actual table, but we are writing these commands to execute, to fetch the information based on the conditions what we are writing here. Clear, everyone? This table person will never get disturbed. That is the advantage of the DB, the SQL over the Excel. In Excel, if we keep on adding filters or keep on sorting out, the entire data will get keep sorting out, right? But here that doesn't happen. It's like all we can write separate queries for each and every criteria you want. Let's say if you want to apply some cleaning up on only these records, we can do on these records itself. We are not disturbing the other records. Okay, so let's see few more criteria. Okay, now we have different email IDs, and I want to clean out a few of the email IDs. So the email IDs are like any email ID. What it will have in common?
At the rate and domain.
At the rate.
At the rate should be there, right? So I want to filter out where at the rate is not present. Okay, so for that we can use the the parameter. So it's like select the same query. I'm using the same where itself, where email. Okay, I can use this like, okay, and we can give whatever you want in the single quotes. Let's say this at the rate this.
At the rate single quotes.
Okay, so I'll get all the records. How many records I have? 5 records, right? So here the email column I'm talking about. So execute.
None of them.
So I have given exactly at the rate. To make it like, it should be percentage.
Percentage.
And percentage after that. Percentage is nothing but any characters, any number of characters
Before it and after it.
and after. So if I give only before a percentage and then at the rate, it's like any characters before at the rate and no characters after at the rate. It's like if I give this, it's like there are only 4 records where email has at the rate symbol. So now I want to see which records doesn't have at the rate symbol. So it's like I just need to write not like.
Not like.
It's good. So this is the record where I don't have at the rate symbol. So is it not? I mean, if I'm working on 1 lakh records or 2 lakh records, okay, it's very fast. We get these results. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
now let's say I want to see the records where I have the words like this, p@t.com. I want to see words like this. So for that, what we can do is I'm writing this query email like Okay, this underscore is nothing but the replacement for single character. So it's like _@_underscore.com. If I give this and execute, I'll get at the rate.
Because we gave only one single character, one underscore.
One moment.
We have many domain names.
So let's start underscore table m@m.com. It should come.
Because we are asking only a single character before the @ and after @ only single character. That's the reason it is not showing any result. Because you said underscore only replacing a single character.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, forget about that. So, and let's say here we were looking the age between 20 and 40, right? And let's say if I have any records, let's say I want to see the records where the city is Hyderabad or Bangalore. Okay, so for that, what we
We can
can
use
do
in
is
operator.
we can write either or keywords, or we can use in keyword also. Okay, so if we keep on writing or keyword, it will be lengthy. So let's say it's like where city is equal to Hyderabad, and or city is equal to Bangalore, like that. You keep on you keep on need to write. It's like or city equal to like Hyderabad or Bangalore. Or what we can do is where city in, we can write just in. Okay, in, and here I can write Hyderabad,
Bangalore.
Bangalore. And we can write how many words you want.
Sir, flower bracket? Not
It's
the
not,
normal parenthesis.
no. It's like
Single quotes missing, sir.
Yeah.
Because this is a text, we have to give that single quote. To this Hyderabad and Bangalore. In the same way, if you want the exact ages like 3, 30, 40, or some exact ages you want those records, you can do that. Let's say you want the ages between some 5, 3, and 30. So you can select and put that in. You get that. So you're getting it, right? So you're getting how to use those select queries and all?
Yes, Mr.
Great.
Yes, sir.
So any doubts as of now?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Oh, I'm
No, sir, everything is clear till now.
I'm posting all these queries in the in the chat so that you have access to all these queries. So we are already ran out of time. Yeah, and you can keep working on this like this. So you know how to create the tables now, and you know how to update the tables. You know how to create the I mean how to create the primary key and the foreign key relationships between the table, and the queries with the all the queries to select, or we have some more queries, I mean many queries actually. In general, for the data analytics, for the data analytics or the data science purpose, we don't need to uh, we always write the select queries to read the tables and the information. So it's all about like the kind of practice you do, and it's very easy. As I said, SQL is very user friendly language, and it's as simple as English. And by now you must have seen the type of queries which we are writing, where it's like select from the particular table, and it's how we write English, the grammatical English. And we have some simple syntax where we keep on getting those. If we have any errors, we keep getting those red underline in the editor itself, so that you can check on that. Okay. Yeah. Before we close, any doubts you have, any other doubts which need to be clarified?
No, Mr. Vinod, everything is clear.
Sir, commands are very much clear, but I am unable to install successfully so far. That is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
problem
You
I
have
face.
some.
So we are getting some error message during installation, sir.
Yeah, what I recommend is just get it installed. If you have any IT person, get it installed with the IT person, so that they know how to install these softwares, because it's sometimes it's like admin
Yes.
rights
Yeah.
issues and all. Most of you must be using the
Sir,
college.
will you please share that Word document which is already available with the steps?
It's already shared in the WhatsApp group.
Sir, accordingly, that instruction
Okay,
given
sir.
in the
Thank you.
Word document, everything we have done successfully.
Yeah,
Till
I
Only the
understand,
last
but
steps
connectivity.
we are
there
not
Only,
must
getting.
be
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
Connecting is
admin.
a problem, sir.
Yeah,
Connecting with the
there must
server
be
is a problem.
there must be some admin rights issue you must be facing. That's the reason you are not able to connect to the server. Try to get it installed with the admin rights, and then it'll be without any issues, where you can get it installed. Okay.
Yes, sir. We'll
Yes,
try.
sir.
If
Thank you.
we are unable to get it done, sir, shall I contact you? Still, if it is unable
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah.
No, but admin people will make it done.
Okay.
Our network administrators will install the software and they will help you out.
Okay.
Fine,
Yeah,
sir.
that's
Thank you so
great.
much, sir.
It's very great interaction with all you people. Had a very great time. And Shekhar sir,
Thank you, Vinod. Have a nice day.
Yeah, Vinodji.
yes sir.
Yeah,
I'm
continue.
done with the session, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Very patiently, and till 5:20, almost. Really, I'm wondering that the last 20, 30 minutes, I'm just listening what it is going on. The many people is asking and many commands is revealed again and again. I'm very happy that the session is very fruitful. I think everybody is enjoyed. I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's a good sir, because of course sometimes within short time we can't
Yes,
learn
sir.
everything. But anyhow, something at least little bit we learn something better. I'm very happy, Vinodji. I'm very thankful from the Department of Commerce. I hope all my teachers have learned very good, excellent, and will get back with feedback and everything. Thank you one and all for patient listening, and thank you once again, Vinodji, for making this session is very fruitful. Thank you one and all.
It's always my pleasure, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Shekhar sir. Thank you, Mr. Vinod.
So further anything is there, we'll again touch with resource persons, and also if you have any doubts or any queries, we'll sort out in the department level. If it is not, then we'll approach to the resource persons also in the future. Okay. Anyhow, the sir is permanent Pitamaha and Kavi, so definitely he will come back again for the next session. Next session he will come back, because we need to take him again in the fourth semester. Now it's running with third semester. So definitely we need to consult all the resource persons at once.
Next time we will plan beforehand for the fourth semester, sir, in the month of
Yeah,
January.
any possibility, definitely we'll make it offline also.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
we'll make it physical practice of all these practices. Thank you. Thank you one and all for patient listening. So let us close this session today.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Shekhar, sir. Thank you, Mr. Vinod.
Sir,
Thank
tomorrow
you, sir.
timing
Yeah,
from
tomorrow
11 to when you said, sir?
11 to 1. 11 to 1 online again. Okay.
Fine, sir.
We'll
See
meet
you, sir,
tomorrow by 1.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a
Anand.
nice time, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, one and all. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.